never ready. For as long as it took you better look like Halle Berry. Baby, are you ready? Baby, are you ready? All right, guys. All right. All right. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. All right, guys. So we are doing our cord cutting. All right. Let me share this. Let's go ahead and get it shared. Hello. All right, so guys, I am going to be teaching you guys a cord cutting today. What's up with that lock? My antennas is up. I'm gonna be teaching you guys a cord cutting. Today is a great day to do a cord cutting. However, even more awesome day to do the cord cutting is Saturday. Okay, it's Saturday. But I'm teaching you guys. I'm showing you guys how to do it today. You don't necessarily have to do it with me. You can do it now. Days that you do not do cord cuttings on. All right, wait. First, let me bless. Let me bless the energy. Let's hold the energy up. Okay. Dear Divine, please bless and charge me and the collective with the energy to bring a balance to our complete being, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, um, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, emotionally, all of that other good stuff. Thank you so much, Divine. Everything that is above is below and within. Everything that is on the outside is felt on the inside. Everything that's on the inside is felt on the outside. All right. Please block out any distractions, any energetic interruptions, anything that is here to steal, lie, manipulate, or twist. Please expose them and bring them to the forefront so that we can clear, cut, and center and ground that energy in its rightful place. Thank you so much. Jamakali, Jamai Durga Bata Sri Sayi. May peace be with all of us. Thank you so much, Mother Mira. Thank you so much, Mother Mira. Tripping. Let's get Mother Mira back out here, okay? Let's get her back out here. I was organizing my books, looking for a book. I was looking for a book, my Shati book, okay? All right. So So like don't come in here with the distractions. Like I said, expose it. So y'all gonna get exposed. Y'all gonna speak up, speak out, and y'all might get blocked. Y'all might get timed out. It depends on what part of the lesson we on. All right. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a energetic cord cutting as a spiritual leader or as a spiritualist, as a healer, as a teacher, or however you show up in your dynamic. So this is actually for my spiritualists. You know, this is for my spiritualists. This is for my healers. This is for my teachers. All right. I do have other cord cuttings when you are feeling any type of energetic pull or any type of string or tie or cord connecting to another person, whether it's a lover, whether it's a opponent, whether you know it's an energy vampire or whatever the case is. I do have other cord cuttings on my page. All you have to do is go to the spiritual housekeeping tab under my playlist, and you'll see other cord cuttings as well there. All right. Or go through my, go through my lives. All right. So, but this particular one is designed. This particular one is designed. Anybody that shows up, you're actually helping the algorithm. So I really appreciate you guys for being here. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, anywho, all right. So the first interruption, your first interruption, your message actually gets deleted. The second time that you do it, you're going to get timed out, and the third time you're going to get hidden off of the channel permanently. Okay. Once I hide you off the channel, 9 times out of 10, I don't unhide you unless I know you, right? Unless I know you. All right. So first time you get removed. Second time, timed out. Third time, you get hidden off the channel. All right. And I have an awesome moderator that is not only watching your asses. All right. So let me just mix in my black salt. All right. Thank you so much, Mother Anatomy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Let me mix my black salt. All right, so this particular cord cutting, any cord cutting, like I was saying, right? Any cord cutting, y'all are so distracting. But not really. Any cord cutting is going to, it needs to be done. Okay, thank you so much, Fine. It needs to be done on particular days, right? It needs to be done on particular days. More so, not particular. Yeah. Particular days, right? So we don't do cord cuttings on Fridays, all right? Those will have like a karmic attachment to them because it is a Venus day. So we don't do cord cuttings like on Venus days. All right. We kind of do more of like self-love, healing when it comes to like Venus energy, right? We also do not do cord cuttings on, I prefer you guys not do them on Sundays because there's always some type of ancestral like kind of backlash to that, right? It's probably ancestral tied. All right. So let's try not to do cord cuttings on Fridays or Sundays, all right? Unless you are cord cutting a pattern within yourself that is from your ancestral bloodline. It's still not Friday. Okay, still not Friday. We also do not do cord cuttings on new moons, all right? We don't do any energetic work on new moons except charity, all right? We make sure that whatever we're doing on a new moon, we're not witches and warlocks over here, so I don't care what anybody else says, but I prefer to do a cord cutting in a waning moon, right? In a waning moon, you can start the energy during a full moon, but full moons are more so for like manifestation or whatnot, so a lot of things kind of come out, right? All right, so things kind of like come out, right, during a full moon. But from the full moon energy, it's the waning moon, and the waning moon is the one where you start banishing shit. All right, you start everything that has come out, you start Xing it out. Like, okay, check, 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 check. And up into the part where you're supposed to be giving some form of charity or giving back to, the energy, back to the energy. That's where we're like constantly like checking stuff off, checking stuff off, checking stuff off, right? So let me go ahead and jump in. What am I subscribing and paying for? I'm not. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in on this cord cutting and what it is about. All right. So I do have notes. So the reason why we are doing this cord cutting is because in a dynamic, who and what and when and the energy that, okay, boo, who, what, when, and the energy that we are cord cutting, we don't want our pain to become power. If we have cared about someone or cared about a situation, we don't want our pain to become power. Okay. We also don't want to become powerless by giving our power away to some form of emotional tie or connection, right? So this is why I'm talking to my spiritual leaders, because in the recent full moon, the reason why I came up with this ritual in the recent full moon, a lot of things have came out, but it was building up prior to that. I'm gonna honestly say I did go back and look at like some of my lives that I did. I can honestly say that the energy probably was building up a month ago. Maybe back in December, before the actual, like New Year's 2026 hit, right? Before the New Year's, things had been building up, right? You may have recognized certain patterns within people and within yourself, right? That you no longer wanted to be associated with or tied to or tied down with, right? And so you've been making cuts. You've been making cuts, but something slipped through. Oh, God bless me. Thank you. Okay, something slipped through. And there is a time where the teacher and the guide, right? Being a spirit guide, being a human spirit guide, being a empath, right? And then also being a teacher, being a leader. A lot of you guys have like collectives, or you have people that follow you, where you have to set a certain boundary, and you have to set a certain I'm gonna just stick with the word boundary. Like you have to, when you lay out a boundary, you have to leave your boundary there. You can't drop the guard. You can't lower the gates to allow certain people, even if you care about them, to cross over your boundaries. Okay, to manipulate or to make it. When you elevate as a teacher, and teachers are always students, right? When you elevate as a teacher, especially in the spiritual community or within a dynamic of a relationship, sometimes everybody around you cannot go. They can't move with you. And if that person is not emotionally regulated or balanced or ready to go off of the level that they were on, sometimes you just got to lead them where they at, right? So this is the matter of, okay, boo, this is the matter of, like, I was teaching sixth grade. No, I was teaching eighth grade, but I just recently I got offered a position. They seen my worth. I got offered a position to teach 11th grade. So you're not even going to the ninth or the 10th, but you got offered a position to teach 11th grade. They realized that all of your students that were in the eighth grade, they're advanced of some sort. They're gifted and talented. And it's not you that gave them that gift and that talent, but what you have been teaching and what you have been giving. God recognized, God, the divine, has recognized that you helped a lot of people be successful. You get what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, and you helping them and actually stepping back into their power, divine is putting you in a seat that is a little bit higher, And you don't have to just because you may have some sort of connection to your 8th grade class, you don't have to say, well, you know what? I have a real connection to this 8th grade class. I want to continue to teach 8th grade work. You have to do something for yourself. You know, you have to do something for yourself. And so you have decided as a spiritualist, as a healer, that you also want to excel in the work, and you've been a great student. This is almost like being a teacher of some sort and then going back to school to get your PhD. And when you get your PhD in education, you don't just want to be a teacher, you want to be the principal. You're like, oh, you know what? I want to go higher. I actually want to help a group of other teachers excel in their work as well too, right? And so when you do that, your 8th grade class is going to be sad, even though they're getting ready to graduate them damn selves, right? They feel some type of way, and they like, oh my God, you got to leave right now. Yes, I have to leave right now because this opportunity is only, it's not once in a lifetime, because it does come back around, right? You know, but I do. I have to, you know, I'm leaving you in great hands. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you left your especially if you're leaving your students in the divine mother's hands or in God's hands, you know? And when you tell them that, if they have an emotional outburst or they start acting out, you start realizing, like, were you guys doing the work, or was it me covering for you? You know, like, are you really doing the work? And so this also, but I'm keeping this from a teacher, mentor, healer perspective. Okay, I want you guys to see it from that perspective as opposed to a relationship. You know, I have relationship cord cuttings. I have, you know, zombie cord cuttings, or people that just want a double game, or whatever the case is. I'm strictly talking to my spiritualists here, my healers, my empaths, the ones that, and even if you work in healthcare, this will be a great cord cutting for you if you have decided to do something else besides healthcare. You know, if you decided that you no longer want to be a CNA, right? You want to be a LPN, you want to go be a nurse, you want to go and do I don't know, I just seen sonograms, I guess, right? Like people that do ultrasound readings and stuff like that. You want to go and do that. You no longer want to be in this particular dynamic, okay? And so the people that you've worked with for a long time, right? Even though time is not counted over here with my colleague, right? But the people that you've been working with, they don't want to let you go. And so they energetically keep trying to pull you back because they're not ready to go as well too, right? Not knowing that they're at a test. You know it. You know it's a pop quiz. You know it's a pop quiz, but you get what I'm saying? You can't tell them it's a pop quiz because you're a teacher and the principal said, hey, I got to test your class. So you can't tell them it's a pop quiz. All right? And it just be like that sometimes, right? So anywho, all right? So in the spiritual community, there are times when the teacher and the guide dynamic quietly blurs into something more personal. That's often where the lesson begins, all right? This tends to happen when someone likes the proximity to wisdom. They like being seen as spiritually advanced, and they struggle with correction. They may struggle with correction, and does not have the emotional capacity to receive a certain hard truth on their own, all right? And guidance is always given in a agreed spiritual container. Classes, reading, mentorship, and mentorship spaces, right? But when insight touches the identity instead of just information, it can trigger something within the dynamic. And so when it starts to trigger something within the dynamic, then that's where the line gets blurred, because some people react out of shame. Some people may react out of you trying to control their life, feeling as if you're trying to control their life. They may feel attacked. You know, they may feel attacked. They may feel as if you're being judgmental, or, you know, and the judgmental comes into them in a comparison mode. Whereas like you're the student and I'm the teacher and we always been in this dynamic, but you also feel as if you're the teacher of this classroom as well. So yeah, no. And then they also may feel unsafe. So that is one of the big reasons why I came up with this particular cord cutting. Now, all cord cuttings are essentially the same, right? They all require the same thing. Either a black candle or a dark blue candle. So I got the dark blue candle and not a black candle. I didn't get a black candle because I feel as if me being a fire ritualist, right? All candle colors mean something, right? All candle colors mean something. And me particularly, because I am the teacher, right? Because I am the teacher, I chose to get a blue candle so that way if anyone feels as if I am trying to mind control them, I am trying to tap into their intuition or anything like that, I'm cutting the cord here. I'm cutting all access out, right? I also don't want to, me personally, I also don't want to, and the black candle would do it as well too. The black candle would do it as well. But for me and my healing, my personal healing, I felt like a black candle would be too harsh for what I'm going to set my intentions as, right? My personal healing. However, if it's needed, then I'll do it again. You know, if it's needed, then I'll do it again. But all cord cutters consist of the same things. So you have the bowl of water, right? You have a bowl of water, a small bowl of water. You also have your salt. Today I am using black salt, personally made by me, right? Bow to Sri Sai, may peace be with all of us. I have the blue candle. You can also use a black candle as well. And then I have a white candle. Okay, I have a white candle. So the white candle is basically for me, right? The blue candle is for the releasing. All right. The black candle is for the releasing for the other, right? Now, all cord cutters, of course, have to have a cord. So I am using multiple cords here, right? I'm using multiple cords. I am using a blue cord. I'm using the blue cord to cut off the energetic connection that is shared between me and anyone that feels how they feel, right? So I'm using a blue tie. Blue, right? Now, you can also use a black tie as well. Now, I'm also using red. Red is for the evil eye protection. The reason why I am using red is because I have other students. I have a collective of people, right? So my red tie is actually for the collective. It is to cut off access from anyone that feels any type of way from touching my collective. Okay? I am not I'm just revoking access. You know, once you put a student out of a classroom, or once a student is removed, I don't want to say out of a classroom, but once a student or a formal person is removed out of a classroom, there might be some questions, there might be some energetic trying to reach out. You know how, like, let me say it like this. You know how someone gets fired from a job, right? They get fired from a job and they kind of want to defend themselves and what they did. So they start calling people that still work at the job and trying to justify what it is that they did, right? Trying to justify what it is that they may have done. So this is why I am using the red cord from anyone that has been removed. Whoever, they can have clarity. You know, no action, no negative action would go forth. So this represents the evil eye, right? And I'm doing this for the spiritual benefit of all, not just on the side of the people that are still remaining, but I'm doing it for the side that has left, okay? So that, you know, any evil eye, because they may still feel upset. I don't want to use the word envious and I don't want to use the word jealous, but they may still feel some type of way about not having access to the classroom knowledge, right? So I do not, and if I'm trying to use discernment here, and if anyone is in has gained anything from you and they try to use it against you, right? Then that means that they gained that information in a negative, like with negative intentions, right? And so we always do return to senders on that. And I just don't want an energetic, I don't want my students, I don't want the people that are still tied to me, I don't want them to feel as if they have to defend me, you know, to feel as if they have to defend the teacher, to feel as if they have to defend the spiritualist, right? And so with that being said, this is why we're going to cut the evil eye where it is, right? And so this helps people, if anything is felt towards anybody that has left, if anything is felt, that it would be their own energy returning back to them immediately. So that's why we use red when it comes to cord cutting, okay? So this is like to stop. So when you use red, spiritualist, in your cord cutting, it's really like to stop the evil eye and return it back to sender. But the thing about this particular cord cutting, y'all, the thing about this particular cord cutting is when I want my other spiritualists out here to like really know and understand, let me tell y'all, okay? So this will help you name the lesson, not the person that needed to be learned, right? That needed to be learned here. This will help you remove the pain and any attachments, right? Remove a pain, any attachments, any confusion, any emotional entanglement, all right? Connected to the connection that you've had with said, you know, student, said follower, said person that was supposed to learn from you, essentially, right? All right. But it helps them keep what you've taught them. All right. Because we don't want, we just because somebody is angry and upset, we don't want them to forget what they learned. All right. We don't want them to throw all of that away. And that is really, oh, you welcome. You welcome. You welcome. That is really like the best love that you could give somebody that was at any point under you. And that's in relationships, that's in any type of dynamic. A relationship is getting information from the other round and bringing it back. And so as a spiritualist, we get, as a spiritualist, as a tarot reader, as a mentor, as a guide, a human spirit guide, you know, divine uses us as a vessel, and we get information from the other side and we bring it back. And when we give that information out here, exactly as Terrell Daniels has said, when we give that information out, just because someone gets upset or anything, they didn't say this, but I'm saying this right here now. Just because someone gets upset that it wasn't exactly what they wanted to receive, we don't want them to forget what you gave them. I don't. I don't want you to forget what I gave you. All right. So I'm letting you keep that. But I'm just, you know, as a spiritualist, as a healer, as a teacher, I'm going to cut the evil eye out and tell you, remember what you learned, because if you send it towards anyone in the classroom that's still remaining, or towards myself, you know, towards the teacher, you're going to get that back. It is not going to reach us because the cord has been cut. All right. So this red tie is for the spiritual benefit of all. This particular blue tie is for me and my loved ones. All right. Then we have the blue candle. We have the blue candle. And this is for release and not harm. Okay, this is for release and not harm. You can also use the black candle. The black candle does not do any come on now. Easy. All right. So the black candle does not do any type of harm either. Just because you're using a black candle, you use what you have. It's about your intentions behind it. All right. And we're not sending, just because we cut cords with somebody, cut somebody out, block them. We're not sending any of that negativity out there in the world. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. What I am going to do is I am going to burn the incense of, am I burning? Yep. We are going to burn the incense against jealousy. All right, we're going to burn the incense against jealousy. And then we are going to burn Radha and Krishna incense. You know, and I also want to say this and give, you know, and give like big most high thanks to my deities, right? To my deities that walk with me every single day. They walk with me every single day. Not just my deities, but my most high God, my divine mother, okay? As you guys know, like over here at Jupiter Occult, we do it's called Jupiter Occult. Okay, Jupiter Occult. All right, so we expand. We don't just stay in one particular quote unquote pantheon, right? Now, I personally have a pantheon that I follow, that I adhere to, right? I have that. I have a spiritual practice. I don't push my spiritual practice off onto anybody. I actually cannot initiate anybody into my spiritual practice. That's not my job. I won't do it. I won't step over those bounds. I don't do it. Okay. I I see myself as a human spirit guide. Whether or not another sees me as a guru, that's between them and their God. You know, that's I don't know how I show up in people's lives. And that's honestly not my, it's not my business how I show up in your life, right? My business is making sure I show up with integrity, authenticity, love, and honesty. Okay. And when you come over here, I don't put nobody's deities down. I know who sits at my head. I know where I have been crowned. I know where I have been initiated at. And if you guys have followed me for a very long time, very, very, very long time, right? Today when I was getting dressed, I was gonna wear blue. And every time I wear this particular color blue, right? I always think about Ursula Dantor. That's mine, right? I always think about Ursula Dantor. But you know, Ursula Dantor kind of give me this, she give me this, a different type of warrior energy, right? A different type of warrior energy. Like, it's so much love from her, but it's like you won't be like, you're not to be fucked with, right? And Lapalazuli, okay, she give me that energy, and I'm sitting here watching her look at me as I'm talking, right? And I literally was told, put the yellow on. You know, put the yellow on today. Let's soften it up. Let's put the yellow on, right? Let's soften it up. Let's go to my other aspect, because all roads lead to the divine mother, right? Let's go to my other aspect. Let's go to the other one that sits at your head, where you've been crowned, where you've been initiated, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to put the Oshun energy into this, right? I'm going to put the Oshun energy into this. And right as I said that, right? Right as I said that, I opened my drawer, and my husband has my little yellow outfit all together. He has it all together in one little spot, right? And I was like, oh, okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. I'm gonna put the yellow on, right? And I don't tolerate disrespecting the deities of no pantheon. I don't care if it's Jesus. I don't care if it's Sri Sai. I don't care if it's Oshun. I don't care if it's Ursula Dantor. I don't care if it's Lilith. I don't care if it's Hector. What's her name? Hecate. I don't know. I don't know her name. Forgive me, divine. All right. I don't care. You don't disrespect no woman over here. You don't disrespect no male either, but you for sure don't disrespect no mother over here. And when that is done, I immediately, immediately go within and see where is the problem. Where is the problem, right? What's happening? Like, Divine Mother, what you want me to do? And so it's almost like, y'all know where in the Bible Gita, where in I have to give credit to Mother Anatomy for pointing this particular chapter out in the Bible Gita, where Arjun is sitting with Krishna, and Krishna has revealed all of his divine forms. No. Cancel. I said images. So Arjun has revealed all of his divine forms to how come it didn't come up? I mean, Krishna has revealed all of his divine forms to Arjun. And he says, "Oh Lord, I see all the gods and a host of different beings within your body. I see your infinite form in every direction." And when I was looking at this, this is it starts with, it's chapter 11 and it starts verse 16, 17. It's really the whole verse, the whole chapter, right? And in this particular form, if y'all could see, I wish I could make this bigger. Oh, I can. Okay. Let me close some of this. Let me close some of this at the top. Oh, I can look at that. I'm talking about open Facebook. Why? Why? What is that? Y'all, I suck at opening this. Okay, here we go. All right. So that's where it is, right? And even in that moment, Arjun, Arjun, yes. So even in that divine, in that divine moment, in the middle of a war, our Krishna is reminding Arjun that I am even you. I'm you in a demigod type of way. I'm also Kali. I'm also Shiva. I'm also the king of the heavens. I'm also Ganesh. You get what I'm saying? And he's telling them, like, I exist in all, basically, right? And so as I'm getting dressed, it's almost like, and this is so crazy because we just did the Mahavis, where the Mahavis, we just did like a ritual over the Mahavis, a secret ritual, right? Where students and everybody was present. And it revealed a lot too. It's not just about it's not the full moon that revealed anything. It's the full moon that gave clarification on stuff. But it actually was the rituals that we do leading up to the full moon. Like I said, this energy of releasing that needs to be core cutting, it's been happening. It's been happening. Go back to December. It's been happening. It's been things that's been coming up saying that you need to release certain energies in order for you to expand. You got to cut certain ties in order for you to go out. You have to go out and do something. You get what I'm saying? Because prayer, meditation, and and shadow work and all of that without any action behind it, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything, you know? You have to put some action behind it. You have to put some action behind it, or it's pointless to do. And so those that have not been doing any action, record cutting. We're releasing them. We're letting them go so that they can actually do something. Because there's things that are hidden in the energy. Had Arjun not had Arjun, and we are Arjun essentially. We are. We're not Krishna. We're Arjun. We are Krishna. We have Krishna within us, right? If we want to be at that level. But before we are Krishna, we're Arjun. We have to remember ourselves first before we can say that we're a god, we're a goddess, we're a high priestess, we're a teacher. We have to remember that we were the student first. We were the student first. You can't show up every single time as the boss, because when the CEO come down, you get put in your place. You get put in your place. So that's all I'm saying, right? So anyway, so as I'm getting dressed, right? As I'm getting dressed, I'm moving throughout my room, y'all. I'm moving throughout my room, and I'm trying to decide what color I want to wear, right? What color do I want to wear? And let me pick, let me pick, let me pick. And then finally, the energy came to the forefront of humble beginnings. Go back. Go back. Humble beginnings. Go back. You know, remember where you came from, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, I came from Oshun energy first, right? I came for Oshun energy first. She's never left me. When when I it's so funny. I'm looking at my money tree right now. Look, money tree. She's never left me. She has never ever left me. And when I came from working with Oshun, I did not leave her in a messed up type of way. I did not forsake her. She did not forsake me. I did not try to find any type of clarity on why I could not work with her. It was simply that another goddess appeared before me and took my hand and said, um, let's go. Let's go. Divine wisdom, the spiritual wisdom. I know it was divine knowledge. That's what it was, divine knowledge. I was chasing knowledge. I was chasing knowledge first. I wanted to know things. I didn't want the money first. I never wanted the money first. I was okay with the vows that I had made in the past life, a vow of poverty, of not being tied to any material thing. I was chasing knowledge. And as I chased knowledge, the divine mother came to me in a form that is very abundant and said, let's go. Let me take you beyond this. Let me tell you what you can have and what you should have, what you've earned. And although I didn't go towards Oshun because of money or because of a man or because of children. I simply went towards her because of I wanted to know how to heal. I wanted to know how to heal. I started with Oshun. I started with Oshun energy working in the hospital. I was working as a CNA. I was sitting with people that were dying, that understood that they were dying, and they will always tell me things right before they pass. Right before they pass. And I felt like it's a reason why people are opening up to me. It's a reason why. And I never understood that I was a medium, right? I never understood that I was the bridge between life and death. And Oshun wasn't telling me that. She wasn't telling me that you're a medium or you're this. She was simply telling me that you have a lot of love to give. You have a lot of love within you. And she helped me discover the love within myself. I would never, ever, ever, ever disrespect her. Because when I almost forget, she always stepped in. And that's what a crown priestess of Oshun does. When your mind slips, a crown priestess remember. Okay, thank you. I hope y'all can hear me. So anyway, so that's what a crown priestess a daughter of Oshun, that's what they do. They remember. They remember. And simply just remembering who you are, she leads you to other she leads you to other places. But there are so many doorways, right? There are so many doorways, but every deity doesn't step through every single doorway that you enter. They don't. They simply don't. There's the ancestral realm, there's the God realm, there's the the other realms. These are lokas, right? These are called lokas, and this is what you get when you read, right? There are also levels of heaven, okay? Gates of heaven, the same way there are gates of hell. All right? So anyway, which doorway are you stepping in? I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. And if a person can't go with me, I gotta lead them there. If not, I'm not going to continue to step into different classrooms. I'm chasing knowledge. I'm not chasing abundance. All right. And so this, as this cord cutting goes, this is for those spiritualists that are continuously showing up for themselves. All right. And refuse to let another hold them back and be energetically tied to the level that they are at. We not on the same level. And I'm not talking to anybody particularly. I'm talking to y'all so that y'all can do this cord cutting and y'all can actually get through these gateways. All right. Y'all can get through these gateways. All right. So let's go back to the cord cutting, y'all. Let's get started. So remember, this is not a lesson. This is not a cord cutting about them. This is a cord cutting for you. All right, let me get my papers. Let me get my paper. Let me get my marker. It does not matter what color pen you are using. This ritual is for everybody, but it is for you. You do it for yourself. You do not do it for anybody else, okay? You do not do it for anybody else. You do it for yourself so that you can do it. You can be done with it. You do not do a cord cutting for anybody else like this, all right? You do it for yourself so that as your class experience their graduation, their level of elevation, you can also not be energetically tied to them. You know how like they'll try to I don't want to use the word manipulate. That's not the word I want to use. Okay, spirit. They'll try to energetically. So it's like I gave you a reading. I gave you a reading. I gave you a ritual, and then you still wanna tie me back into this emotionally and make me feel some type of way when I told you exactly what to do. So this also plays a role in you telling someone what they needed to do and they're not doing the work. They're not doing the work. Okay. And I don't like that. I as a spiritualist, as a healer, as a tarot reader, I don't like that. I don't like that. This is why I give so many classes and stuff. Okay. Are we burning any incense? Yes, we are. We are burning against jealousy, and then I'm also burning a Krishna and Radha Krishna, not Krishna and Radha Krishna incense. But I'm burning against jealousy. Another good incense to burn is rosemary. You can burn rosemary, frankincense, myrrh, mugwort, okay. Rosemary is a good one to burn. If you have any cedar incense, or if you have any what is the other one called? I know I don't have it over here. I think it's called do I not have it over here? I don't have it over here. What is it called? I want to say Palo Santos, but I don't think that's the name of it. But you can burn Palo Santos because I just said that, okay? So Let's see. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. If you have questions on anything, oh, Hygiene is great too. Frankincense and myrrh is good. Palo Santos, yeah, those are good. Okay, all right. So this is a clean cord cutting release and a lesson integration ritual. All right, you release the emotional entanglement, but keep the soul lesson and the spiritual upgrade. All right. So I am doing this for the spiritual benefit of all, so they can keep the soul lesson and the spiritual upgrade. You can also too. We learn a lot of things in our classrooms. All right. We don't throw the book away just because the chapter has ended. All right. We don't throw the book away just because the chapter has ended. That's what this ritual is about. All right. So the best timing for this is a waning moon. Waning moons are for release or a Saturday, okay? Or a Saturday, which is boundaries and karmic closings, okay? All right. Um what you need again is a black or white I'm sorry, not a black or white candle. You definitely need a white candle. You need a black or blue candle, which is cord cutting, release, no harm. The white candle is for clarity and clean closure, okay? You need a small bowl of water. You need a bowl of salt. And then you need a string, okay? I am using a red and blue string, but you absolutely can use a black string. I'm sure I don't have black string in there. I have black string. Y'all know I do, but I'm not using black string. Okay, I'm using red and blue. All right. But definitely can use the black candle and you can use a black string. All right. Use what you have. So on the piece of paper, guys, on the piece of paper. Oh, you also need a pen and a piece of paper. You need a pen and a piece of paper. On the piece of paper, you are going to write, all right? You are going to write, I keep the wisdom, the boundaries, discernment, and the spiritual growth this experience gave me. All right? I keep the wisdom, the boundaries, the discernment, and the spiritual growth that this experience gave me. Right? I'm going to put it in the chat. So this is step 1. She said, thank God. All right. My iPad is being petty. So the next part is the releasing, which is the lesson. Now, you're not naming a particular person because at the end of the day, the reason why we don't name people during our cord cutting is because sometimes there's hidden energy, hidden agendas, and we don't just put a name. We don't just put a name. When we name the lesson, everyone that is around us that is carrying that energy that needs to be released, it falls. Okay? It moves. It removes. It doesn't fall. All right? Remember, this is nothing bad. I gotta change my adjectives here. It moves out the way. It goes away. All right? So the next part that you're going to put is I release attachment to the pain, confusion, and emotional entanglement that the connection that's connected to this connection. Okay. So I keep the wisdom, the boundaries, the discernment, and the spiritual growth this experience gave me. I release. Same paper, one piece of paper, one piece of paper, okay? If you start writing on the back, that's fine. It don't matter. One piece of paper though, okay? Okay? So I release attachments to the pain, the confusion, and the emotional entanglement connected to this connection. This is telling spirit that you are not rejecting the lesson, only the suffering. All right. This next part, you are not writing it. You're not writing it. You are going to speak it. But I'm just going to put it in the chat. It will be saved. It will be saved on my page. If after the live you can't click right back on it as it process, it's also in my community chat. It's always going to be saved, guys. All cord cuttings is going to be saved. They're always saved. Okay, so this next part, you're not writing on the page, right? Oh, wait, before we do that next part, what I want you to do is I want you guys to sign and date this cord cutting, okay? I want you guys to sign your signature and date this cord cutting, okay? So sign your signature, and if you have, because like I said, this is for my healers, this is for my spiritualists, this is for those that do any type of healing work. If you have a business or you have a classroom, for example, I am Intuitive Mom. I'm I'm also the representative of the healing garden. All right. But we have Jupiter occult, which is more of our classrooms, right? It's more of our classrooms. But when I am doing teachings and stuff, you guys are present at the healing garden. Okay. People that just show up, they're in the healing garden. All right. So you're getting the seeds that are necessary. However, on my piece of paper, what I am going to do is 2, 4, 6. Okay. 2, 4, 26. Mm. And I am going to sign my name. I'm going to sign my government name. I am going to sign Intuitive Mom. And I'm going to sign Intuitive Mom with the @ sign because that's my @ name. Okay, with my handle. I'm saying my @ name. That's my handle. But I'm also going to put Jupiter occult. And I am going to put the healing garden. The only reason why I'm putting the healing garden, even though the healing garden is for the spiritual benefit of all, right? The only reason why I'm putting that is because I am using this red cord that is going to stop any evil eye, that's going to cut any evil eye to anyone that is being sent to the healing garden. All right. Jupiter occult is more so of like, I don't know how to explain it, right? It's where you learn this cord cutting stuff, right? But the healing garden is where you get those readings at. You get that healing. You get that you get that real time. Where we do the work at, that's Jupiter occult, right? That's how I would explain it. But I am Intuitive Mom, all right? So we are going to use that. That's the reason why I'm doing everything, all right? I'm doing everything. And I know you guys may have like a particular person in mind, but like I said, you put the lesson and not the person, right? You put the lesson and not the person. You don't make it really too personal. We go above the human level and we go spiritually above it, right? And I know you guys have a person in mind. So whoever that person that you have in mind, right? At your human level, think about what it is that they call you, right? So if they call you a nickname, let's say they call you Miss T, right? They call you Miss T. If they call you Miss T, then you sign Miss T. All right? You put Miss T down there at the bottom. So if they've given you a nickname of some sort, put that nickname down at the bottom. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, perfect, perfect. And when you have the supplies, I gave some dates at the beginning. When you have the supplies, just try not to do it on the new moon. You can gather your supplies or whatnot. Try not to do it on a new moon and try not to do it on a Friday. All right. A new moon or a Friday. Venus energy, try not to do it on a Venus day. And don't do it in a new moon. Just don't do it on those days. Wait until the next day. Okay? Wait until the next day. If the next day is the new moon, don't do it. All right? Just wait. Just wait. Tuesdays are great. It's Mars energy. Thursdays are great. It's Jupiter energy. Saturdays are wonderful. Saturdays are wonderful, okay? So we have a Saturday coming up. All right, that is not tied to the new moon. But however, the 7th, this is January, girl. Get yourself together. The new moon is, oh wow, it's on Ash Wednesday and Fat Tuesday. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's gonna be, and they wonder why I'm not. Somebody like, why you want to go to New Orleans? Not the new moon falling on Fat Tuesday, and y'all want me to go to New Orleans. Like, why y'all want me to give away my energy like that? Like, why? Why y'all trying to get me in that chaos? Today is good. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect day. Perfect day. It is. It is Mercury Day this Wednesday. This great Wednesday. I was born on a Wednesday. I love it. Wednesday, baby. All right. So now the next thing that we are going to do, is we are going to grab the cord, right? We are going to get the cord. Now, you guys, get your candles in position because we're getting ready to use our candles. Get your candles in position. Right? Get your candles in position. I want to get out this other candle real quick. This white candle, tea light candle. I wanna have this present as well too. All right, make sure you have a fire safe bowl if you're burning candles that are black candle, white candle, black thread, bowl of water with salt, protective incense, and incense against jealousy or evil eye. Yes, wonderful. Make sure that you guys are burning your candles on something fire safe. I'm a fire baby, and my kids, they get so annoyed with me because they're like, you're gonna start a fire here. No, actually, one kid feels like that. That air sign, he feels like I'm gonna start a fire in here. Okay, who knows what type of lifetime we experience? I know what type of lifetime we experience together. But anyway, so tea light candle, or you can have a chime candle. All right, whichever one. You can have 2 chime candles. You can keep it small like this. However, this is a big energy for me, so I am using a 7-day candle. All right, I kind of want to see how that burns down, but I'm also going to use these as well too, right? And so I have a tea light candle. So I'm just showing you different candles that you can use. He is the oxygen that makes it bigger. He is a mess. I love him. All right. So you are going to hold the string in both hands. You do not have your candles lit, right? You're going to hold the string in both hands. And what you're essentially doing is you are speaking your intention over this string. You have your petition in front of you, right? And you are saying what this cord represents, right? So you are going to say, it's in the chat, y'all. It's in the chat. This cord represents emotional attachment, not divine destiny. What was meant to teach me has taught me, and was not meant to stay may now leave in peace. All right. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. This cord represents emotional attachment, not divine destiny. What was meant to teach me has taught me, and what was not meant to stay may now leave in peace. All right. Now, you are going to, you need to feel the difference between love and attachment. All right. In this particular cord cutting, you're going to feel the difference between love and attachment. We are cutting the attachment, not the love from the heart chakra. All right. Not the love from the heart chakra. We are not saying I don't love you. I don't fight. I don't want to do that. What we're saying is that I don't want to fight with you. I will not fight with you. Okay? And to fight with you does not mean that to not fight with you does not mean that I do not love you. Okay? It is just simply removing the emotional attachment. All right? So again, speaking to the cord, and you say, this cord represents emotional attachment, not divine destiny. What was meant to teach me has taught me. What was not meant to stay may now leave in peace. All right. So you are going to light the blue candle or the black candle first. All right. You're going to light your blue candle or your black candle first. Let me drop that like that. Okay. You are going to light your blue candle first or your black candle. Now, if you guys are not doing the ritual the way we're doing the ritual right now, this is perfectly fine. If you're doing it together with the correct intentions, this is perfectly fine. If you kind of want a little more quiet space, don't light your candle right now. Light your candle later. Okay, light your candle later if you want a little bit more quiet space. We're in a teaching setting, right? Mother Anatomy said, I'm using a black and red thread and the blue and black candles. So, and a blue and black candle. So let me know which thread for which. Actually use both the blue and, like, you see my blue and my red thread is tied together. Use that. Make sure you also have a white candle. All right, you can have a tea light candle as your white candle, and a 7-day candle, a chime candle, but make sure you have a white candle in there. The white candle is more so you than anything, so you can make sure you have a white candle. Almost forgot. Yes, make sure you, I think that's why I went and pulled this candle out. I'm like, who don't have that candle? Okay, get you a white, make sure you have white candle. White candle is for us. I'll say you are going to light. If you don't have a blue thread, you can simply just use a all black one. Okay, you can simply use a all black thread. You can use I would stick with the blue, the red, the black. Okay, blue, red, black candle, blue, black, and white, and blue or black and white. Okay. But when it comes to the thread, you you don't necessarily have to, if you have a red thread, that's perfectly fine. That's fine. You just need one thread, okay? You just need one thread. Even if you have different cords that need to be cut, this is the cord to you. You simply cutting it all the way off. Now, the reason why I am using this particular red thread is I'm doing this for Jupiter occult, and it's actually more than one thread. It's three. It's three threads here. Okay? It's for the spiritual benefit of all. And the blue cord is mine. All right. So you are going to light the blue candle first, right? And when you light the blue candle first, you say, I release. I'm going to put this in the chat. I love this part. I love this part. So you light the blue candle and you say, I release unhealthy cords, projections, expectations, and emotional hooks. All right. So the blue or the black candle, we cutting their asses off. Okay. I mean that in the most loving form or type of way. I release unhealthy cords, projections, expectations, and emotional hooks. All right. Where can you see? Oh, y'all can't even see the blue candle. Okay, there we go. The blue candle. I'm gonna light this blue candle as well too. Now, let me find something safe to put this on. I don't even want to do that. Look, I'm like, I don't even want to do that. Y'all, this is not a fire safe thing. You know what? Let me just go get a plate so that way I can read the candles when I'm done. Let me just go get a plate. Let me just go get an ancestral plate. One of my ancestor plates. Let me just go do that. All right, thank you so much, Divine. All right, that's black salt. All right, that's black salt. Put it in there now. All right, put it in there now. All right. So you are going to say you like the blue or black candle. I release unhealthy cords, projections, expectations, and emotional hooks. All right. I have my petition right here. I have my water right here still. All right. I hope you guys can see clearly. All right. Now you are going to light the white candle, and let me put it in the chat. We're getting ready to light the white candle. All right. I call back my energy, clean, wise, and sovereign. I call back my energy, clean, wise, and sovereign. Okay. In supreme power. All right. In my own supreme power, I call back my energy, like the white candle. All right. This cord represents emotional attachment, not divine destiny. What was meant to teach me has taught me. What is not meant to stay may now leave in peace. I'm speaking over my cord again. Okay? All right. So you're going to, you have the water, right? You have the water. You have your petition. You have your candles going. You have your salt. All right. So now in the water, right? We're getting ready to cut the cord. We're getting ready. You haven't cut the cord yet, right? You're getting ready to cut the cord. Oh, you also need scissors. Because how you going to cut the cord? I mean, you could rip it. This particular cord is very thin enough to rip, but the blue one is not. Okay, this thread is not, but the red one is. I could just, you know, tear it apart. But we're going to cut it. All right, so you also need scissors. It's a cord cutting. You need scissors and cord cutters. All right, I forgot to say scissors. All right, but we have the bowl of water. Now, what I want you guys to do is you are going to make, this is the cleansing, right? This is the cleansing. We are going to first get the water where it needs to be. So you are going to take whatever salt you are using, right? Dead sea salt, black salt, Epsom salt, whatever salt, that the salt with the little lady in the umbrella. Okay, I don't even know if she's still on the salt. I always say that, but I don't even know if she's still on that particular salt, right? Any salt that you are using. I am using black salt, right? You are going to put that in your water. All right, you're going to put that in your water. And we are using this salt to cleanse the emotional bondage, the emotional residue, right? So I am putting a significant amount of salt in my water, right? Now, this is not a mandatory step, but if you have the divine pivot oil, what I want you to do is I want you to put 3 drops of the divine pivot oil inside of your water, inside of your salt water. The divine pivot oil, it absolutely gets you moving on your path. All right. And to keep your path clear, The divine pivot oil is not only a road opener, but is clear the crossroads, it's clear the energy, and it's just clarity. All right. So it's designed with Mandurga, it's charged, designed with the energy of Mandurga and Lord Vishnu. All right. Um, so yeah, so you're gonna put 3 drops of the divine pivot oil inside of your water, and you're going to do your black salt. All right. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to dip your fingers. Now, what I suggest is, right? So I'm right-handed. However, when I do a lot of like my energy work that I send out, I do it with my non-dominant hand. So what I am going to suggest is that you actually dip all 10 of your fingers into my spiritualist, dip all 10 of your fingers into the water, right? And what you are going to say, let me put it. Now, y'all see how I have my string wrapped around my fingers, right? I'm not necessarily like putting the string into the water. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I have it wrapped around my hand. Y'all just look. Watch how I do this. Watch how I put all 10 of these fingers inside of the water while still holding on to this string and not letting it. Y'all see that? How I'm holding on to this string and not letting it touch the water. Like, let's not act crazy like we don't understand what's going on here, right? Y'all still can put all 10 fingers, especially what we're getting ready to do with our hands, okay? Remember, your fingers, what is the word fingers? I think they call it phalanges or something like that, right? In Spanish, phalanges. I don't know if that's what the word is, but that just popped in my head. Someone speaks Spanish. um and whoever speaks Spanish just popped in my head, literally. So what you're doing is you're removing these right here. There's something that you do with your hands, and you might want to slap somebody right now, but instead of doing that, you're spiritually medical terminology. Hey, you're, instead of slapping someone, you're actually doing a better healing by what we're getting ready to do. Okay, so let me go and put what it is. Okay, so you're going to put your hands inside of the water. Do not put the cord in there just yet, right? Well, don't put the cord in there, right? And you say, I cleanse this bond. And as you do that, you are going clockwise, right? I cleanse this bond of emotional residue. I cleanse this bond of emotional residue. All right. And I would say it 3 times. I cleanse this bond of emotional residue. All right. Hands out. Okay. All right. Hands back into the water. Hands back in. Feel it. Okay. Feel it. Feel it. Feel that energy, just cleansing energy kind of working through the cords that's in your body. And I think that we're using our fingers. That energy should be going up to your arms, down your shoulders. Like, just imagine that, right? I'm still holding on to my cord, right? I'm still holding on to my cord. You imagine that tie down to your, the base of your spine. The base of your spine, right? You feeling it going up your arms. I can feel it in my shoulders right now. I feeling it rolling down my back. You know, and now you feel that cord where it's knotted at. You know, it's knotted in the back of your heart. It's knotted in the back of your heart because there's someone or something that still wants you to have an energetic tie to what you're getting ready to release. So you feel that going down, you feel that energy kind of looping through there, right? You feel it looping, trying to figure out how to get through this knot. How to get through this knot, right? Take your hands out, pick up your scissors, cut that cord. Where you feel that at, right? Where you feel that at. Drop it into the water. Drop it into the water. All right? When you start feeling where it feels uncomfortable at, whether it's in your shoulders, whether it's behind your heart chakra, whether it's down at your solar plex, and whether it's down at your sacral chakra or your root chakra, wherever they're trying to interfere and keep you tied emotionally to a particular lesson, a particular obligation, a particular expectation. All right? Whoever, whatever this student, this mentor, this follower, whoever this is, release it. All right? Put your hands back into the water. I want y'all to hold that cord down. That cord, hold it down. Not as if you're drowning it, but as if you are cleansing it. You are baptizing it. You are releasing it down to the ground of the ocean. The floor. Down to the pelvic floor. You say, you take it and you go counterclockwise. Keep your hands in the water. You go counterclockwise. And you say, I release you to your path. I return fully to mine. This lesson stays and the attachment leaves. I release you to your path. I return fully to mine. The lesson stays and the attachment leaves. I release you to your path. I return fully to mine. The lesson stays and the attachment leaves. Okay? Because, baby, why can't I swipe up? I don't want to time that person out. Let me get something real quick. Okay. So now we are going to seal the lesson. All right. Now we are going to seal the lesson. You have your petition. I want you to hold it to your heart, right? All right. Hold it to your heart. I love putting my little fingerprints all over it, right? I love putting the salt all over it. I love putting the salt all over it. All right. So you hold it to your heart and you say, let me copy and put this into the chat. My hands are wet, so they're doing the most. Whew. I don't know why my iPad is doing this thing that it does on the keypad, and I don't know how to fix it. How do I make the look, how do I make the keypad bigger? Cause what? Hopefully this pastes correctly, but let's see if it does. Yes, there will be a replay. All right, definitely a replay. All right, so you are going to hold your petition. You are going to hold your petition that says, I keep the wisdom, the boundaries, the discernment, the spiritual growth this experience gave me. I release the attachment to pain, confusion, and the emotional entanglement connected to this connection. Signed your name and date and sealed, right? You're going to put this to your heart, right? You're going to put this to your heart and you are going to say, nothing was wasted. I keep the discernment. I keep the upgrade. I release the emotional weight. Now, remember, I'm teaching this for the spiritual benefit of all. So even anyone that I am disconnecting from, I hope that you do this cord cutting, okay? So it says, nothing was wasted. I keep the discernment. I keep the upgrade. I release the emotional weight. All right. You are going to take the piece of paper and you are going to fold it. You are going to fold it, right? You're going to fold it. It doesn't matter which way you fold it. It doesn't matter which way you turn it. I'm turning it clockwise, okay? But it doesn't matter. All right. You turn it counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. All right. And you fold it. All right. Once you fold this piece of paper, what you are going to do, you are going to place it on your altar, or you're going to place it with the candles, right? You're going to place it on your altar for 3 days. If you do not have a spiritual altar, right? If you do not have a spiritual altar, but I'm talking to my spiritualists, so y'all should have some form of altar, right? Y'all should have some altar. All right, you can have your ancestor altar, you can have your spiritual altar, your work altar, your deity altar. You know, you're going to place it on your altar for 3 days. The candle work, I'm at my desk doing this live. However, anytime that I do my rituals, what I do is I take the candles and I go and place them on my altar. Okay, so you're going to take this petition and you are going to put it with the work. All right, you can set it in between the candles that you have going. Be careful, because once the candles get down to a certain level, they may catch fire. All right, so you can put it up under the plate. I see it. You can put it up under the plate, but just be careful. This is advice, right? So put the petition with the candles. All right, put the petition with the candles. All right, now after that, you are going to scatter any ashes that you have. You're going to place them outside. You know, do not put them in front of your door. If you are releasing things back to the earth, far as like your salt, I'm using this salt. What I do is I take the salt from here and I put it into here. Now, this bowl right here, it has the cord in it. It has the cord in it. How to properly dispose of this, right? Energy. There are 2 things that you can do. You can put it outside, away from your household, away from your front door, away from your back door. You can put it outside, right? It's yarn, it'll be fine, right? Put that cord outside of your house. Or you can flush it. All right? This particular ritual, you don't want to pour it down your sink. You don't want to pour it down your sink. You want to make sure that it goes back into the ocean somehow, some way, or back into the earth somehow, some way. So you could put it outside your house. I don't think you guys should dump it into a trash can. Okay, I don't think you should dump it into a trash can, because it's just not that type of energy, right? It's more so of like you're ending on like in love, right? Not in love, but with love. All right. Can I use it to water a tree outside? So intentions and words is to be used here, right? So you're not necessarily watering the tree. What you're doing is you're giving it back to the earth. Okay, but you're not necessarily like watering the tree. You're returning it back to the divine mother. Okay, so you can use it to return it back to the Okay, yes, 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 Jesus. All right. So you can use it to return back to the earth. All right. But it's not like watering. Watering makes things grow. All right. What we doing is we are grounding this energy, not necessarily trying to make it grow anywhere. All right. We did enough watering these cords. Okay. So yeah. All right. So this, after this ritual, you may feel lighter in your chest. You may feel less of an urge to explain yourself. You less of like replaying old conversations, more neutral instead of charged. All right, more neutral instead of charged, and that's perfectly okay. When you feel charged, you may feel the need. It's 111, y'all. When you feel charged, you may feel the need to over explain things and give more of your energy to certain things. But when you feel neutral, you just kind of like understand that this is no longer a connection that you're going to, be tied to. All right. So this cord, that the cord is dissolving, not becoming cold. All right. So this is not about becoming cold hearted or anything like that. It's just simply the cord dissolving itself. And that's why we put it in the water. All right. So you are not closing your heart out. You are closing a karmic tab. All right. If you, oh wait, I have something for you guys. I have a mantra for you guys to tie this up. So for the next 7 days, so again, you're keeping the petition on your altar for 3 days, but for the next 7 days, right? As this cycle starts to put you back in your space, right? Because now that we have cut the cord, we have to fill it with something. So I want to give you guys a 7-day mantra or affirmation, right? I'm going to also put this on my community tab. What is today? Today is Wednesday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is up into next Wednesday, right? The 11th. Interesting. Up into next Wednesday, which is right before the new moon. All right. So we immediately dispose of the water with the cord, but the candles and the petition will be on our altar. Yes, you immediately dispose of. As soon as I walk outside, I am going to dispose of this cord and this water, and I'm going to go about my day. But as soon as I get up from this desk, I'm going to go and put this on my altar. Okay, I'm gonna go put this candle and this petition onto my altar. All right, and then I'm just gonna be done with it. So the frequency right here, because we don't just close doors, we open up better ones on purpose, right? We don't just close doors, we open up better ones on purpose. We make sure that we are going in alignment. All right, we don't just close out the doors and then we just suffocate ourselves in a particular type of energy. We make sure that we step into our true power. All right, so the prayer for the aligned connection and divine inheritance, that's what I got for this. All right, you are going to sit and stand and place your hands over your heart, over your womb, over your solar plexus. And you are going to say, Divine Mother, holy ancestors, or whoever you adhere to, the guardians of my destiny, I have released what was misaligned, and now I make space for what is truly mine. Bring into my life connections that are reciprocal, friendships that are honest, students that are ready, teachers who are whole, and communities rooted in truth. Remove hidden envy, remove disguised competition, remove those drawn only to my light but not committed to their own growth. Send souls who are emotionally mature, spiritually accountable, celebratory of my path, and not threatened by it. May every new connection be peaceful to my nervous system, clear in communication, clean in intention, and aligned with my highest timeline. What is meant for me will recognize me. What is not meant for me will pass by me without drama. I now call in my divine inheritance, right relationships and right opportunities, right support and right recognition. Nothing is forced, nothing is stolen, and nothing is delayed. Only what is written in my soul contract may enter into my space now. My field is sovereign, my path is blessed, and my circle is protected. This is for the spiritual benefit of all. Jama Kali, Jama Durga, bow to Sri Sai. May peace be with all us. Thank you so much, Mother Mirror. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe to the Divine Mother Oshun, to my Mahavis and everyone above and below that is guiding me on this path, to my highest vibrational ancestors that walk with me. All right. And to all of my students, to all of my collective that is here, that's showing up, that I'm calling in, to my destiny helpers, to my moderators. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to put that prayer inside of my community tab. You can rewrite it. You can, screenshot it however you need it. But for the next 7 days, make sure you are saying that over yourself, because we have removed and cut a cord. And at the end of the day, we deserve the inheritance, the blessings, and everything else that we have worked hard for. And we're not going to let anybody try to box us in to a category, because they cannot fit with us. They cannot sit with us. Okay. So I love you guys. I love you guys very, very much. All right. Mother Anatomy said, always thank you for being a vessel and showing up to teach. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I love you guys, and I pray and hope that you guys have a wonderful day on purpose. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. If you need anything, you can text me at 346-702-4044. All right. I love you guys, and peace.